How does it feel to see your best-selling novel on the big screen?
It's really incredible, and I feel like Martin Scorsese made a very faithful adaptation of my book. And he made a movie unlike any movie I've ever seen before, with incredible 3D, but to know that it's based on my book is really thrilling.
Did you have any input on how things looked in the film?
I, myself, did not work on the movie at all, but everyone on the movie worked very closely with my book. So I feel like even though I didn't work directly with everyone, they worked with me through the book. And everyone who I met had looked at the drawings in the book to decide what the sets were going to be like, what the costumes were going to be like, and it's really, really amazing to see those little drawings that I did come to life so big.
And I don't think you're used to the red carpet, are you?
No, I've actually walked on one red carpet before in Italy a couple weeks ago, and it turns out I really like walking on a red carpet. Isn't it fun to be on a red carpet? Yeah.
Hugo Cabret, the book, already had pictures in it. Was that a challenge to turn it into a movie, and were they helpful or not?
The pictures were very helpful, but not necessarily in the way you'd think. Because when you look at the pictures, you think it would sort of tell you what the scene should look like and how the scene should flow. And that's certainly true to a certain extent, but more so, there's a certain tone to what Brian Selznick drew, a certain sort of moody black and white pencil tone that I found very haunting and very, very moving. And more than anything, that's what I tried to recreate in the screenplay, that sense of sort of poetry that Brian was able to draw.
And was it different writing for a 3D movie?
It was. There were times when I wanted to move through things. It gave us the opportunity to move through a three-dimensional space. So when Hugo goes down a corridor, or when we go through the clockwork mechanism or into the workings of the automaton, it allowed us to really deeply go in there. And also just simple things like making the dogs a dachshund and a Doberman so they were long dogs that could protrude into the lens. It informed every decision we made.
How did starting your career so early have an effect on your childhood? Was it a positive one? Would you have changed anything?
I think it's a hugely positive effect. I think being a young actress actually showed me up. It opened my life up to a world of new things. I learned so many things. I've been to Japan, I've been to Paris, I've been to London, I've been to New York, I've been everywhere, and I think it really does enhance, in many ways, my school. I'm able to see living history and a lot of different stuff.
How has playing Isabel in Hugo changed the way you look at the world? How has her attitude affected yours?
Well, Isabel's a really interesting character because she's actually a lot like me. It's one of the few characters I've done that is actually a lot like me as a young girl. So I learned so much being with her because as I became Isabel, she became me. And I learned so much because we're both very adventurous and we're both very spontaneous and we love reading and we love the imagination. And I think that's what she loves. She loves cinema, the imagination, adventures, and that's really what this movie's about. A big, huge friendship adventure between her and Hugo.
In the movie, your character tries to hide from the past, but at the end, he decides to celebrate his career. As an actor and artist, what do you think the significance of that is?
I think that if we're true artists and genuine actors, whatever life throws at us, sooner or later, we'll always come back to that true artist in us and the true craftsman and the true actor, whatever happens. So for me, it's very encouraging.
And how does your career and what you've been through relate to what Georges Méliès has been through and his career?
I had to use a great deal of imagination to understand George's pain and sadness at the beginning of the film, because quite honestly, I've always been blessed by this business and I've just gone from one great job to the next, so I've never known that great black hole open up in front of me that poor George experienced. A lot to do with the First World War, actually. So I think that all of us craftsmen and actors and artists and writers, if we're spared war, we're fine. As soon as war kicks in, it affects everything badly.
You played the title role of Hugo Cabret in the movie Hugo. How did Hugo's attitude affect yours?
Well, it was quite difficult relating to Hugo because his life was so different to mine. I had to sort of almost build up a fake past for him that was similar to mine and grow us both up from there. So it was difficult relating to him. And because Hugo's had to grow up far faster than anyone else his age, he's a thief and he's had to survive. So it's very different from me. It was quite difficult sort of relating to him.
How did starting your career so early have an effect on your childhood? Was it a positive one? Would you have changed anything?
No, I mean, I'm very lucky that I've been able to have this opportunity, but whenever I'm not filming, I just do normal kid stuff. I go to a normal school, I hang out with friends, read, play computer games, so it's fine. It's good, it's amazing.
This is Grace McManus reporting from the red carpet premiere of the movie Hugo in New York.